But anyway, this was a system under which I was to work. Then on completion of 1 month, the work started. I was happy. Then he said, first and foremost, he gave me a paper. He said, you keep this and put a pin and keep it. So then I thought, similar is the situation with a client coming. So some other client came and I put the pin accordingly, and he would require 2 sheets for doing it. And I have also adopted the same system that my colleagues now do it by putting 2 pages on every such paper that comes, so that I can put my notes. With that, I used the pin and I said, he came out hurriedly. Mr. Kulkarni, have you become a fool? What have you done this? I thought I have done something really wrong. I said, what have I done, sir? What said? I just got scared. He said, the client has come to us. He is not even paid 1 rupee. Why are you wasting my pin? So then I realized, yes, I must really think of this concept. So that is how the career continues, and that is how people would face these kind of things in life. And that's the greatest lesson. He made me not to take up the work was one of the greatest factors that I could concentrate on work and be with him. And that gave me a greater idea, and probably could be one of the factors that why Mr. Rahul thought of calling me today as a first guest to give a lecture on this. That could be probably one issue. Now, as your life proceeds and progresses, there are various factors under which that you are coming under a tremendous situation. First and the foremost, I would tell everybody is, don't calculate your success on the basis of what money you are likely to receive in your initial years. Concentrate your initial years for the purpose of reading every day, whether you have brief or no. If you have decided to go on a particular line, if you have decided I must be in this particular line, either civil, maybe taxation, maybe indirect taxation, or on criminal side, or on a coffee poster side, whichever the line you want to choose, study every day one judgment. That judgment which you read may not help you, may not be of any use to you, but the language that is used would roll on your tongue, which will help you whenever you open your mouth, maybe 10 years down the line. The language which you use would be more or less of the same time what even the judges who feel that what as a lawyer you are putting it before them should be this kind of a language. That would really help you. It will help you a lot in that sense. One, it gives you a knowledge. The thinkers, those who have done it, where the judgments are decided is on a particular issue which might attract you to raise that maybe down the line when you get your clients. That's first one. 2, motivation to read. It will make you sit in one single place and read something which is very extremely difficult. My father used to invariably tell me the 2 parts of my success are, one, my language, which except me nobody can understand. So that must have made you pass in your exams thinking that it could be like this. And secondly is that I can't sit, must have made you come for law. So that now it will be, because what was seen in the movies, because nobody in my life is a profession except me who has entered this. He was thinking like in movies, it is always shown that a lawyer is walking here and there and making this. It's all a myth when you actually come in the profession and see how difficult it is to sit in one single place, understand what the other side is saying and you are listening, and then ultimately react to that immediately is the greatest phenomenal job one a lawyer has to do. The concept of accepting it to hear at an initial stage what the other side is doing is what is a requirement, and that will come on the basis when you start in initial period when you have no work, you are reading sitting in one single place. So therefore these aspects will really help you to come out of a situation down the line later to think in a particular line in which you must be attacking the other side to say that how successful you should be to win over the matter. Done on the basis of one thing, yes, I would like to tell you is there is nothing like a free lunch in this profession. Nobody will tell you that please sit here, we'll have a lunch together, or we will do this, we will eat this, I am giving you a gift. It would never ever happen in a profession. In my initial years, I used to, along with doing the work of Mr. Shirodkar, I used to do some kind of agreements which could earn me some kind of a money, for which I was asking them 50 rupees or 75 rupees, 25 rupees, 30 rupees. I was getting it. The agreement had never any value, no registration, but people used to have, and that is how it was giving me a pocket money to make my survival. And initial period when I was doing this, invariably I used to prepare it. I joined a typing class and I used to do that, complete it, give it to them, and they never used to come back. So after a year or so, I asked Mr. Shirodkar, sir, this is what has been happening. So people are coming, they take your advice, they take your sheet also, and then they don't come back. I said, why do you give your sheet to them? If you want to give an advice, you give advice, but why do you give it to them? I said, they come to me. See, nobody comes to you because you are Mr. Kulkarni. If anybody coming to you, they are thinking that we can have the work done, and that too because you are getting it done free, they are more attracted to you. They would like to come, tell you, take your work and go away, and those fill in the blanks, they will themselves do it, and your work, why should they come back to you? So first and foremost, as a practitioner, I would request to all juniors that you can give a free advice, but don't give your worksheet to them so that they can make use of it and you are not paid. It can be an experience to you to know their things, prepare it, keep it with you, but at the same time passing it over, the money will not come. As simple as that. So they will make you monkey out of the whole work, they will have the advantage of it. It's like a story, monkey hunter. You know how this monkey hunting is done? This monkey hunting is done is on the basis of some groundnuts are kept. It's like a web. Groundnuts are kept, and then monkeys get attracted to it. They put their hand into it, make a fist. The moment it is turned into a fist, it becomes bigger in size, and that cannot come out, and they get caught to it. And that is how it is, that you get caught into that and they make monkey out of you. So the first thing, try to understand, know the knowledge, keep it with you, and the financial aspect will follow, and when it comes, be practical enough. Your knowledge will not help then. You are already prepared to know what it is and how it is done. The aspects of success today is everybody tomorrow in you is going to have a kind of a success whichever you want. You have to have a firm conviction that what you want to do, a firm faith in your own work, discipline in your work, and work to strive it to reach to that conclusion which will give you that. I will give you a small story. I will rather give you kind of stories which can inspire you more, and rather will give you more in your mind that thought processing all throughout your life. If you want to be successful in one of the reasons is how to make your beginning of the argument and how to conclude it must be different from rest of the world. It is anybody opening it in the same way and you opening it in a particular way, that should impress the other side. Ultimately, it's an impressive personality that matters. Everybody possesses this. Reading, gathering, knowing from a third party or something of your own, you put it. That's the story of a balloon seller. He used to sell balloons and give it to the children in a park. Invariably, he used to have a different colors, of the balloon, grey, red, white, blue, black, and he would fill helium into it. That helium is a substance that is filled into it, makes it more lighter, and it goes up. The atmospheric pressure around is on a higher side than it becomes lighter, and that's the reason why it goes up. The particular balloon, bigger in size, was one he would keep at a higher rate than rest of the balloons. The children, those who would come around, they say, we want this bigger, we want this color. So that was costing him high, and he was making more of profit in the process by selling the same thing, same quantity of helium, same quantity of things, gas which he was putting in, but it was giving an impression to the children, including their parents who would buy it to them, to say that this particular helium balloon is with a higher gas, he is spending more into it, and then it is going more higher because it's because of that particular black color, bigger in size, is the one which is going. And invariably, though with the same cost, he was selling this balloon and he was making more and more of profit. One small child came and asked me, can you also sell me this black balloon which can go more higher than rest? He said, of course, why not? It's very simple, I'll give you. But he said, my child, may I tell you one thing? It's not that the balloon color which makes a difference. It's not that the size that would matter. What would matter is the substance inside. So try to concentrate on the substance which can be made more impressive to the judge, who can listen to you more better, more politely, more nicely, and can give you a better mark than rest of the other people. Mark in the sense, can give you a better result to you than rest of the people. So what's more important today is the substance of the balloon and not the color of the balloon. So don't go on the basis of that he is this, he is this, he is that, he is the son of Mr. So and so, he comes in this car, how can I fight? No, it can never ever happen. Your substance, your matter, you would know better than rest of the world. Please do concentrate on that. There is one story called as, biblical story. The biblical story talks about a story of David and Goliath. Goliath is supposed to be a giant during those period. इकडे कसं आपण राक्षस भिक्षस म्हणतो तसे, that's a story, a kind of a mythological and biblical situation. During that time, people were telling, see, Goliath is a guy who would just tear you apart and he would kill and he would do this and who's that. So David, son of a shepherd, he thought, what is to be done? He stood up against him in one day. Rest everybody said, Mr. David, don't do it. He is a giant. He is so big. He'll just chew in 1 second. Don't do it. He is so big. He said, no. He is certainly big, but one thing is true, that you can't, because he is so big, he can't be missed. You can hit him. And that's what your target should be. So don't be scared in a life that who that other man is so big. He may know probably less than you. He may have worked less than you. But you face your target. You fix it. You can achieve more better than rest of the world. And that's the reason, one of the stories where you can really think of hitting at the right place, hitting at the right moment, hitting in the sense not physically hitting on the point of substance will drive you to a better tomorrow as far as a lawyer, as a budding lawyer is concerned, to make it tomorrow that today I am here and tomorrow you would be here to say your own success story.